Hi, I'm Ben the Tutor, and today I'm going to do a video for Shannon about volumes, and we're going to learn how to use the formulas for some surface areas and volumes. Okay, so you see up here just 3 examples, and we're just going to look at the formulas and do a few quick examples. Okay, so I have 3 shapes. The first one is a cylinder, like the shape of a pop can. The next one is a sphere, and I just drew a circle and drew a line, but you have to imagine it's 3 dimensions. It's very hard to draw a 3-dimensional sphere. The last one is a box. And so in the cylinder, there are 2 important measurements. There's the radius, my radius there, and the height. And the surface area is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h, and that's the formula. And whenever we do surface areas, we need to count the pieces of the thing. So the 2 pi r squared, well, pi r squared is familiar, and that's the area of a circle. And a cylinder's got 2 circles, one at the top, one at the bottom. So that's 2 pi r squared, and the 2 pi r h corresponds to the wrapping around bit. So imagine if my r was 3 and my height was 6, then my surface area would be 2 times 3.14 times 3 squared plus 2 times 3.14 times 3 times 6. Okay, and I'm just going to do that on my calculator. And it's important to remember when I do 3 squared, I square it first. Bed mass, exponents first, and then multiply. So 2 times 3.14 times, 3 times 3, it's 9 times 2 times 3.14. So that is 56.52, and then I get 2 times 3.14 times 3 times 6, and that's 113.4, and then I add those 2 together. Okay. Now the volume formula I see is pi r squared. So let's figure out the volume of this sucker. So I need to go 3.14 times 3 squared times 6. And that's 3.14, again, exponents first, times 9 times 6. So 3.14 times 9 times 6. Whoa, crazy, they're the same. They're not always going to be the same, but in this case they are. Okay, so the surface area is 4 pi r squared. So let's imagine we have a sphere with a radius of 7. So I go 4 times 3.14 times 7 squared to find the surface area. So, and again, I go 7 times 7. 7 squared is 49. 49. So 4 times 3.14 times 49 equals 615.44. You can follow along with your calculators at home. Okay, and I have the volume formula. That's 4 over 3 times pi times r cubed. Now, you might be wondering about this 4 over 3. The easiest thing to do, I think, is to go 4 divided by 3. And if you put that in your calculator, that's 1.33333. So you can just time 1.33333 times pi times r squared. So 1.3333 times 3.14 times 7 cubed. So 7 times 7 times 7 is 7 cubed. That's 1.3333 times 3.14 times 343. Okay, so 1.33333 times 3.14 times 343 equals 1436. And that's the volume of the sphere. Okay, and last but not least is this box. And so you see on the box, the surface area has 2WH, 2WL, and 2HL. And that's because a box has 6 faces, so each face, we call it. And so one of them has like W and height, and that's like a rectangle. We know the rectangle formula is like the length times the width. So there's two rectangles that are WH. There's two rectangles here that are like L times H, and two rectangles that are like L times width. And so we just got to add up all those ones, and these two are always matching. So that's the formula there. So imagine we had a height of 2. Ooh, I just dropped my calculator. Imagine we have a height of 2, a width of 5, and a length of 7. So the surface area would be 2 times 2 times 5 plus 2 times 5 times 7 plus 2 times 2 times 7. Okay, so 2 times 2 times, times 5. 216, that's not right. 2 times 2 times 5 is 20. 2 times 5 times 7 is 70. And 2 times 2 times 7 is 28. So those guys, add it all up together. 28 equals 118. Okay, and the volume is much easier. So with surface areas, we've got to add up all the pieces. With volumes, we just times all the stuff. The volume will just be 2 times 5 times 7. That is 70. Okay, those are some examples of how to do the surface area and volume formulas. The key thing is to just write the equations down and then put all the numbers into the equations. Thank you very much for watching.